Borelli line, the rise and fall of the king of pop. How did Michael Jackson go from a superstar beloved by millions to wacko jacko in such a short period of time? Joining us again this morning from Los Angeles, Randy Borelli, CBS News consultant and author of Michael Jackson, The Magic and the Madness. Also in LA, Mike Walker, gossip editor for the National Enquirer. And here with us in New York, FAB FREDDY, the original host of Yo! MTV Raps, also a TV producer and filmmaker. Good to have everyone with us this morning.
Pleasure to be here.
Mike, I want to start with you because you covered Michael Jackson for so long. When did this happen that we all of a sudden saw this change from boy wonder to a man so troubled?
Well, not to contradict Berry Gordy, but Michael Jackson did have a very controlled childhood. His father was very tough on those boys. That's a matter of fact. Everybody knows it. Michael was the meal ticket. Michael, as you know, by 1972, when he was 12 years old, was already breaking away to do his first solo album. That was not his decision. Of course, it was Joe Jackson's. He was under great control. Great constraints. He couldn't mix with other kids. He couldn't go out. He couldn't get a driver's license. He couldn't drive. For years this went on, but when Michael finally started to come into his own, he suddenly realized that he'd become, big enough so that he didn't need to worry about Joe Jackson anymore. And you could almost see him start to come alive and realize he could do great things and this enormous talent he had. And, once he got that freedom, he started experimenting just a little too much with things.
But Randy, do you think he understood it? Did he get it at the time when he started to become more well-known for some of this behavior than he was for his musical talent?
Well, what I think happened in the 1980s was when Michael decided that he was perhaps not sensational enough in real life, and he wanted to become something bigger and something more fantastic, and he started posing in oxygen chambers, for publicity purposes, and there, a lot of hype went out to the media that wasn't necessarily true at that time, and it began sort of like this image-making process that was more Captain Marvel than the real organic Michael Jackson, and eventually started actually living up to that kind of hype.
Well, in terms of all that hype, FAB FREDDY, all the people, we hear so much about the people who were around of him, a lot of them hangers-on, but, were there enough people in his life who were really supporting him, who could tell him, no, not a smart idea?
Well, I'm actually sure Michael definitely had his own decisions in the game. And I think, when somebody is so blessed and so many amazing things happen to someone, 750 million records sold, no matter what you do. If you're J.D. Salinger, in a complete recluse, you're still going to be a major topic of news. And Michael understood that game. He understood how to play it on all levels, and he did.
Did he really understand how to play it, though? Because
Absolutely.
you would think that in looking at some of the things, especially in the last years, that maybe he didn't quite get it, that there had been this really big disconnect from his fans.
I think the thing about Michael, which I think you could look at as an example in what he did in his music, he created the environment on records that he wanted to create. I think the environment that he lived in is what he wanted. And I think he had a struggle to balance out what he wanted for Michael and how we look at it from the outside world. I mean, it's just the sad nature of what we do. We have a billion-dollar gossip industry that wants to stick the knife in and turn it. 750 million records sold, bottom line. That's it.
That part. There's no denying what an incredible talent he was.
And a lot of work went into that.
And that legacy. Mike, though, was it in some ways you think too much too soon? You kind of touched on this.
Well, yes, and to say that there's a big industry that likes to stick the knife into him, Michael Jackson went on drugs. The National Enquirer reported that he was intravenously taking drugs as early back as the 1980s. He was. He admitted himself in the 90s that he had a drug problem. He had a very severe drug problem. He was also, as the gentleman pointed out, trying to be, I think Randy pointed out, trying to be something larger than life. And a lot of things were converging. Plus, he had all these sexuality problems. He didn't get married until late. The marriage was to the daughter of Elvis Presley, which was a very weird situation.
There are so many levels to Michael Jackson, the man. Unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there. We're absolutely out of time, and I'm going to get fired if I don't tell everybody to be quiet.
It's just
Randy,
unfortunate that people want to just spend so much time harping on the negative.
Well, hey, we're doing a lot of that this morning as well. FAB FREDDY, Mike Walker, Randy Borelli. Great to have all of you with us this morning. There is much more to come right here on The Early Show on CBS.